Hi, I'm Rachel. I'm here with my cat Leia, and I'm doing another Author's Answer video. The Author's Answer series was started by J.D. Archer and some of his friends, I think first in a forum, and then he made videos and on BookTube answering all of the questions they made together, and they're in a playlist that I'll link below. And I'll also link my own AuthorTube playlist where I tend to answer one of these questions per month. And this month's question is number 6, Writing Problems and Mistakes, which I'm going to assume translates into, where do you suck? Maybe that's a little harsh. Well, I remember the last time I workshopped one of my novella chapters with my writing group. Right beforehand I was whining about how much I hate plot and how much I just enjoy meandering through characters' thoughts and being stuck in their heads and all of that. So cut to the critique, which was of a chapter where I had my main character in a club with her sister for a long time, and then she took her inebriated sister home and they had a conversation and went to bed. But in the club, she was stuck in a lot of her own thoughts, and my group was telling me, you know, it's just getting too convoluted in that club where she's just constantly angsting about things, when meanwhile at the end of the chapter you have her basically go through all of it with her sister in person in dialogue, and that works much better. So I was like, so noted. Also, I felt vindicated because I knew myself. I also remember, well, a couple of years ago, I joined Scribophile, which is an online writing community dedicated to critiquing. And I joined in part because I just finished a draft of my short story that's now out on submission. And so it was this really cool system of, you know, you have to earn karma points before you can demand other people look at your stuff. So first you have to critique other people's stuff and then you know, earn the points to be able to post your own on the site. So anyway, I did that, and well, one of the things that one of the critiquers pointed out to me that I think has been pointed out to me before is how often I unconsciously used present particles. You know, those verbs that end in ing, English 101. And how he through going through my piece with a fine-tooth comb, came to the conclusion that I was sort of over-embellishing descriptions, kind of starting to beat my reader over the head. Pay attention to this! So that's something that I don't know, it's just something I think that came to me naturally while writing. It's, I guess, some sort of crutch that now I have to pay attention to and make sure I don't get into too much of that. So yeah, and you know, another thing I think about a lot, not just with me, but maybe with well, certainly with the writers in my group too, is how difficult it is, I think, to write physical description, or at least that's what I tend to notice in their stories, like, oh, what are we looking at? Where are we exactly? What's, you know, like, tell me more about this place. And then meanwhile, on Labor Day, I was editing my next chapter of my novella, and part of it goes into some really intense dialogue between two characters who hate each other. And the other part of it actually also has dialogue between two characters where that's sort of a main dramatic focus. And so in both of them, but especially in the one between the two characters who hated each other, I was starting to notice how little I was describing of the physical surroundings. And I wonder if that's where my present particles come in, because I'm kind of using them to do minimal description. And I'm not sure if this is good or bad. I guess I'll have to see what my group has to think of it, because, you know, I felt like the dialogue was so strong, I hope. It felt strong, it came really easily. I mean, well, it was an edit job, and I didn't change much of it because it flowed really well. So I thought maybe that's where the impetus was. That's where people would want to focus. That's where my characters were certainly so invested in what they were saying and where the drama of the story was. We'll have to see, but maybe one thing I can take out of this is that I actually think I am kind of decent at dialogue. If we have a, you know, what you're good at writing video in the future. So that about covers it for me. I mean, I'm sure there's more that I can dig into with my strengths and weaknesses as a writer, but well, I think I've had enough rambling videos for 1 week. so I'll just leave it there. For those of you who are watching who are also writers, I am curious if any of you have used Scribophile or heard of Scribophile. I'll leave a link below. I was so excited when I first heard about it because I didn't have a group, but I think ultimately the style didn't really fit with my own needs. I wasn't writing fast enough to continually keep submitting things, and overall I found it sort of overwhelming with too many forums and too many groups and all of that, and it was such a better fit for me when I finally joined the writing group I've been part of since the beginning of the year. So I don't know, I'm still a member though, and I wonder if when I have my next full draft of my novella finished, maybe I'll go back to Scribophile for a little bit and interact with the community, of course, and then submit to get new fresh eyes on that piece. I don't know. So, but if any of you have used it, I'd be curious, or I'd certainly be curious what other critique groups online or off you find helpful for your writing. So that's it. End scene. Thanks so much for watching. Keep writing, everyone, and I'll see you next time.